Welcome to Starter Garage, and this is the LEGO C1 Corvette, and it's a beautiful set, but yet quite disappointing. So today I'm bringing you a car guy review of this LEGO C1 Corvette as a model in LEGO form, and then at the end of this video I have an intricately calculated Studded Garage overall score for this car. So let's dive right into this C1 Corvette with the first ever Studded Garage accuracy tour. This LEGO C1 is designed to be, or at least resemble, the 1961 C1 Corvette, which had a few specific aesthetic changes from the original debut in 1953. Some of those changes for better, but more for worse, which we'll get into in this video. The set comes with a red exterior and a black and gray interior, a common theme for C1s. And to display this model, you have an option of an open-top roadster style, or you can have the roof on to make it a really beautiful coupe. The car's details and bodywork don't at all suffer from the fact that it's a LEGO, like some of the Technic cars do. I'm looking at you, Shelby and Lamborghini. But it does seem as if LEGO cut a few corners with this car, and it has to do with the model year that they picked. However, as a 1961 model Corvette, this set is top-notch. It features all the correct design language from that model year on the exterior, like the dual headlights, the dual taillights, and the added round opening on the front bumper thing seen here. The side profiles, two-tone body panels, while being a little flat, are still an incredible feature and are executed in near perfection, while even maintaining the 3D aspect of the white panel being set within the red. The back end, though, is very simple yet very elegant and accurate, and in my opinion is one of the most well-constructed sections of the car. Although admittedly, I am kind of confused about the whole exhaust dilemma. That's right, there's no obvious exhaust pipes on this car. While stock C1s had an exhaust pipe that ended underneath the back bumper, I was wondering if these 1x1 round studs are supposed to be the tips of the exhaust. But if they're not, then what are they, and why put them there? And why can't we have any real exhaust pipes? I'll be honest, if these are supposed to represent exhaust pipes, that's kind of sad and parallels the overall car's lack of substance. Which I'll definitely explain what I mean by this car kind of lacks a little bit of substance for me after we complete the accuracy tour, but let's take this tour inside and check out the interior. The interior has to be one of my favorite interiors that's ever come from a LEGO. This is because it has some of the coolest building techniques that make up one of the all-time coolest car interiors. The interior of this model is extremely accurate and is tightly packed with some interesting features. One of my favorite details in here is the way that these pedals are constructed, and they look incredible. The dashboard and gauges, along with this weird passenger bar for holding onto, are all copy and paste levels of attention to detail. The doors, on the other hand, are correct shapes in their main structure, but the bluish gray details are slightly skewed from their original positions, but nothing too extreme to not be accurate. One minor detail that may or may not be intentional that really speaks to me is the way that the white within the door bends down into the armrest the same way that the leather does in the real doors. But moving on to the center console and seats, I have to say that there is really no wow factor here, since I'm beginning to realize that LEGO car seats are almost always the same build with swapped colors, which this time, even the black and gray is a little disappointing. Don't get me wrong though, if you're a longtime viewer of this channel, you may know that I'm already happy that these seats aren't tan. And I do like the fact that they have the two-tone with the dark gray. I just wish that LEGO went for something a little bit more 50s and 60s with the interior color and given us a white interior or a two-tone white and red, or maybe even a black and red. Or if they're ever starting to really feel edgy and want to push the boundaries, they should give us a light blue interior with a better matching exterior paint. The seat indents with the car's body though are some of the coolest things I have seen on a LEGO, and is very concept car in nature. And of course, they were featured on the real car. And the chrome trim around the edges of the seats is a killer design element, and I'm so glad we were able to recreate it. But closing out the accuracy tour, we'll finish with the trunk and the engine bay. The trunk is one of the most unique building techniques I've ever encountered with LEGO, because in order to get this seamless trunk that sits flush with the body, there is no way to lift it up. Instead, you have a little Technic piece underneath the car that's used as a button to push the trunk open slightly for you to then raise it up and look inside. And while there's nothing really special back here, it does have some use for holding my extra plates. I will add that I find it funny that the trunk has a red carpet in it instead of black, which is kind of weird. It makes it seem as if they were going to go with a different color scheme. And just like the trunk, the hood sits in a very flush way, but unlike the trunk, there is not a button or anything to help resolve the difficulty of opening it. So to demonstrate the struggle that is opening this hood, we hired these giant hands to show you. Yep. He may get it eventually. Yep. Oh, almost had it. Just wait, he'll get it. But once you get the hood open, you are greeted by a very charming little 283 engine. The details of the engine are of course minimal since we're working with Lego, but it is undoubtedly a Chevy V8 block, which is not only obvious since it has Chevrolet written on it, but it has just the right amount of unique features to pull off being a 283. So now, having completed the accuracy tour of the Lego C1, it's time to put this car through the Studded Garage score system, which for a Lego 1961 C1 Corvette set, I'm gonna have to give this an accuracy score of a solid 9 out of 10. For being a fantastic execution of a 1961 C1 Corvette. But if we're gonna give this model an SG rating, which stands for a Studded Garage rating of the set as a whole, I'd have to give it a strong 6 out of 10 for an average overall score of 7.5 out of 10. This is because while I think this is a great 1961 model, I believe this is the safest and easiest option for a C1 model. What I mean by this is the fact that when I first heard the news that Lego was making a C1 Corvette, I immediately pictured and was extremely excited for this. You see, this is a real C1, and this is how C1s were made up until the last couple of years of production, where GM seemingly got rid of everything cool about this car. You see, early model C1s have a grille that transcends time and space by being so beautiful it's still mesmerizing to this day. And when I heard that Lego was making a C1, this was the grille that I was expecting and wanted to see on the set. But when this Lego set was revealed, I was confused, and only after doing research did I realize that this was the grille for the last 2 years of production of the C1. Last 2 years of a 9-year production run. And I do understand that this grille was probably implemented into this production year for better airflow for the engine, but Legos don't need any airflow. So for me, not getting that chrome grille leaves a resentment towards 1961 being the chosen model year for this set. I even seem to get the idea that if the pieces used for the headlights were painted in silver ink, it almost seems like the perfect piece to try to implement on that grille. Another huge wasted opportunity was the fact that early model C1s had the most iconic classic American car feature, which were tail fins. Why do we live in a universe where Lego would pass up the opportunity to build a larger scale icon model car with tail fins? They've done it before with city cars, the smaller cars, but never with larger scale cars. In my opinion, passing up on tail fins and the chrome grille are blasphemous in making a tribute model of the C1. At the end of the day though, we got what we got, and it is a great set of what it is. I just can't seem to shake feeling bummed that Lego took the safest and easiest route with this model, leaving me with thoughts and feelings of what could have been a way better model.